It's a beautiful November day, just about a week before Thanksgiving, and I want to get the porch looking really nice. So after the Thanksgiving holiday, we can just sort of get right into the festive spirit. This is the earliest I've ever decorated before, so I do like to save my Christmas decorating until really close to the actual holiday. So my plan is to clean up our front porch, which is still got all of our apple cider making paraphernalia out and just needs a little TLC. I'm going to take the screens off of our storm windows. Even though it's still pretty warm and we've been opening windows, it's just about time to do that. I have a pumpkin on our porch, so it's time to just switch it up and get ready for the festive season and get our porch into an Advent frame of mind. I like to celebrate Christmas all the 12 days afterwards and not take my things down right away. So when you use fresh greens, that means that you need to put them up at the last possible minute, but they do last longer outside, I have found. And also what I'm planning to do with the porch is just put a lot of evergreens out, which is a very Advent theme. And then probably right before Christmas, if not Christmas Eve, trim things with some decorations. But I'm thinking for this Advent season, we'll just have the evergreens and have like an Advent porch. So the first step is to do some deep cleaning of our porch, which really needed it. I swept a little bit. There were a lot of, I forget what these are. My kids collect them. They look like walnuts. You think I would know living out here. Some kind of very hard shelled, like, yeah, maybe they are walnuts. I just sweep all those off. I rearranged the furniture a little bit. Our porch furniture is a random assortment of things that we have gotten passed down, mostly from my in-laws. I really love this little table, and I love the old church pew. We salvaged it from the basement of an old building. And then we've got these other two little chairs. I'd like to redo the porch furniture, but for now this is fine, and I really like the little setting. I got up on a ladder, and I love this fan light above our door. It gets really dirty up there, and spiders just love it. So I got up there with my homemade glass cleaner and just spiffed it up a little bit. It's so pretty. And sometimes I like to put things up there. Last year I put some greens up there, but this year, for now anyway, I'm leaving it just plain so that we can see the beautiful stained glass. Here's my porch all tidied up. I took a couple of chairs off and a table that we have because they're just getting really rusty, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Then I took the screens off. Well, these particular storm windows, the screen windows slide up, and I put the glass storm window down. I am very grateful to have storm windows on this house because we all have all original windows pretty much, and they're very beautiful, but the draft that comes in is fierce, and the previous owners put storms on all of them. My dream is to get some historically beautiful, there's companies that make like reproductions or just storm windows that look well with old wooden windows. These storm windows are not those, so I think they really detract from the beauty of my windows. However, I'm grateful for the warmth and protection that they provide for the old glass and the old wood. We've been slowly restoring our windows a little bit at a time, but restoring a window is a big job and a big messy job, so it's going rather slowly. I've counted once and we have something like 40 windows to do, so I decided to knock this old robin's nest off of my columns too and get up there and sweep some of the cobwebs off the ceiling. The porch ceiling is painted blue, which is traditional in the South, and I love it. It needs a new coat of paint, but I love having a blue porch ceiling. I would love to redo this porch with a new lantern and some gas lamps by the door, and we also desperately need new columns and a roof that needs repainted. But after my deep cleaning, it was time to go off and look for some greens on the property. We've got some huge old boxwood trees that are really just growing wild, and they're a great source of greens. And I also walked down the road a little bit to this huge old cedar tree on the property because I thought I would incorporate some cedar with the box. There it is. It's probably from the 1800s. I love that tree. It grows these really pretty little blue berries, juniper berries, I guess they're called. And here's our wild boxwood. So I've got cedar and boxwood, and then I went over to my in-laws' property and snipped some holly from their holly tree. It's not got berries yet, but that's fine because it's very early and we're just trying to do the greens in anticipation of the Christmas season. So I thought that worked really well. I didn't know holly didn't have berries all year round, but who knew? We have these huge concrete planters on the front porch, so my first job was to plant them with all these greens. Boxwood grows like a weed around here, so I'm wondering if some of these little branches are going to take root in this potting soil I have in here. I'm kind of hopeful that they will, actually. That would be great to have potted boxwoods on my front porch, I think. I brought this fur blanket from inside and draped it over the church pew, and I really like that look, just to add some softness and coziness. And then I decided to fill this galvanized tub. I dragged it from the back of the house up to the front porch and filled this old galvanized tub that we will use as the base for our Christmas tree later in the season. But for now, I filled it with boxwood and cedar and holly. This red thing is an umbrella stand. I usually use it inside my front door to stick umbrellas and tennis rackets in and things like that. But on a whim, I just pulled it out. I thought it might look pretty with the greens in it. So I put some greens in there. And then we have this little bench that the kids really like to sit on next to the front door that a friend of ours gave us. So I just decided to decorate underneath there as well. I also put a little tub on the table in front of my church bench. And at this point, my kitty also came to keep me company. And then I moved over to this sideboard. I love this piece. I got it at a salvage store many years ago when we were newlyweds. And it's served various functions. And now it's on our front porch because we're not really using it for anything in the house anymore. And I have these old grain sacks inside of it, which can be kind of fun decoration sometimes. But I just decided to clean it up a little bit. One of the doors fell off this year. I'm not really sure how. It's just getting some extra wear and tear being outside. And I have this old flowered pot. And I decided to stick some greens on there and put it on top, just kind of like as if it were a vase. I centered it up underneath the two windows, and I'm really liking how it looks. And then I moved on to our front door. Our front door is really Victorian style. I guess it's called a coffin door because it can open very wide. It's got two sides. If you open both of them, it's a very wide entrance. And then the former owner told me that was so they could move coffins in and out when people died before they had funerals at funeral parlors. Anyway, I love the front doors. They've got an outer door and inner door, and the outer door needs some repair. One of they're little plexiglass panels. I don't know if they were originally glass, but one of them cracked, and it's quite a job to repair it. It's like simple but quite a job. So I am going to cover up the crack with these swags. Last year I made wreaths, and this year I decided to make swags for the front door just to change things up a little bit. So I put together some holly and cedar and boxwood, again, my three greens, and I just bunched them up until they looked nice and wrapped some floral wire around them. and hung them on the door. Later in the season, closer to Christmas, like I said, Christmas Eve, I'll probably add some beautiful ribbon and maybe some jingle bells. I'll be on the lookout for trimmings. But for now, just for the Advent and the waiting, I really like just having it all green. So my front porch is done for now. I've got some festive greens on this sideboard and this little comfy, cozy place to sit. And my cat is just loving it. I think she probably thinks I decorated just for her. And I'm really happy with how the swags turned out. I'm looking forward to trimming them later on. But I love how this season of Advent is such a time of anticipation. And even your decorating can be a time of anticipation. And also, it's great to do just a little bit at a time instead of saving it all and trying to do it all at once. So I'm really happy with this really simple arrangement of greens on my front porch, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming holiday season even more now. This has gotten me all excited. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of my greens on the front porch, and tell me how you're planning on decorating your front porch or your house if you are. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kathleen from Old World Farmhouse. Bye for now.